Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, a wonderful individual. Today, I would like to speak about the sublime world of the moral realm. The higher you go in the hierarchy, from the first hierarchy and the first link of the second hierarchy, are incorruptible. They are not affected by anything that might be considered backwards or evil or corrupting or degrading in any way. They are the sacrificers of the substance of this earth and also the architects and guides that gives the order of the lower hierarchies. And the lower you go, the closer you become to the human being. We are living in a world where we are side by side with both backward spirits and evil beings. And in these days and ages, we can see that the opposition, as I call them, the mammon, are using tactics to attack morals and make it gray zoned. You see, morals and ethics, love, is a reality. It is something that we cultivate and strive for, an understanding of mankind, and a love and an inclusion and a warmth for mankind. Once you say that morals, there is no morals and there is only that gray zone, is when you lose yourself. Is when you do not anymore have a guiding principle to follow. The values that comes out of morals is so highly important today, where morals are constantly being attacked. That being evil is the new good thing. That being greedy and selfish and fighting against anything that might be good for all of mankind is become the normal and the noble to do. Always having the best hopes, faith, love and hope for mankind, and understanding for every individual as best as is possible, from moment to moment, and from individual to individual you meet, have always been of the highest striving to know the divine realms, and to truly share the love that comes from these higher realms. We try to embody it by transforming our own being to come as close as possible to their nature. We are a blended nature of light and dark, and we have even been given an ego to, captain this amazing structural. It's so hard to explain it, but it is extremely sublime to me. And to cultivate your heart, your understanding, and the morals, so that it becomes an active, unfolding principle within your soul, where when you see something good, you feel joy. When you see something evil, you feel pain. You literally feel pain from it. You see goodness and moral and uplifting, supportive deeds as beautiful. You see degrading, lying, self-serving, oppressing, manipulating forces and deeds as ugly. That is the split in two of, it has been a thing since the Persian times. That is when it first manifested in the human kingdom and as a physical practice. Before that, in the ancient Indian times, it were mastering our inner being, and the outer world is Maya. So don't focus, the ancient Indian were adamant, don't focus on the sense perception, the colors, the otherwise outside materialistic nature. But once we came to the ancient Persian times with Zarathustra, we started to that culture. Of course, India still kept doing what they did. It is kind of an anchoring of that stream there. And the Persians didn't touch the Indians, because the Persians were the opposite. Don't go inside yourself. You don't have enough power to hold under control the evil beings of your inner. Rather, seek out the divine in the outer nature of things and trying to work upon it and purifying it. And then we came to the Egyptian, where they are starting to see the hierarchies and the divine principles out in the stars and in the astronomical progresses and processes that might occur, that also is within us as human beings, since we have senses that perceives our outer reality. And we come to the Greco-Roman times, where we were focusing on our thinking faculties. It was an active, live, philosophical thinking, that they were included themselves. They were just like you would lift a weight and be there active with your weightlifting. They were there active with their thought thinking. The thought processes come from outside, in a sense, and they were actively working upon it. This is in the ancient Grecian times, the start of the Grecian times, before it became decadent and started to fall. Of course, then we came to the 5th post-Atlantean epoch, which now is the age of the consciousness soul and love. When the further we go, the deeper we come into sense perceptual and materialistic nature, the more we lose our otherwise inner moral being. Morals does not come from the material. Morals have always been a sublime realm that has been incorruptible since the dawn of time. The whole of universe have always been built in love. And for us to cultivate this love and uphold the moral standard and make it a living reality within us as human beings is so important at this day and age, because we will come to a stage in our development where it is sorely needed, because the blurring of lines have become so great that if we have not built that seed within us as inner impulses, we will be led astray. It is so important to really, really contemplate and reflect upon love, reflect upon understanding, sibling love, global cultural love. You see a different culture and you appreciate it as that beautiful culture and trying to find the divine within it. By lifting up all of the earth as much as possible with our inner being, with our perception, with our imagination, intuition, and our imagination, intuition, and inspiration. Imagination, inspiration, intuition. We paint and we again grow into be able to see the true divine nature behind everything. And by practicing, by meditating, using your inner faculties actively, and including love, gentleness, nurture, like a mother, and also combine it with a strict instructor of the Father, you cultivate the child for the future. And we should teach that child morals and love, shouldn't we? Of course, it is not naive love, goody two-shoes that walks and thinks there is everything is all fine and dandy and okay. No, this love comes despite all the despair and pain in this earth, and knowing that there are beings that fight against the good, the progressive, the loving, the caring, and try to depict it as some kind of silly nature, when it truly is an uplifting and a purifying reality. And also where true intellect comes from. True knowledge, true wisdom comes from the divine. From the material, you only get cleverness at best. And everyone can be clever. But over time, when things have gone far enough, There will, as I have said earlier, be two races. The good race and the evil one, based on our deeds and actions over many lifetimes. So if we have immersed ourselves in goodness, morals, love, understanding, care, and strive for knowledge to elucidate this, you will be of the good race, and you will be a pillar, an anchoring of strength for the future. If you have immersed yourself with evil, degrading, lying, manipulating deeds, purely animalistic and instinctive in nature, without any regard for anyone else, you will start to grow horns. That is more of a symbol of your ill-intended nature. It is important to have this in mind, so that it is not for a fear. It is not to fear, and it is so that we have a vantage point and an observing. We have to start somewhere, you see, and we have to be aware that there are more than just good beings and uplifting joy and dance on roses. There are also the opposite. But there are different levels to them too. As I've said earlier with the adversaries, Lucifer, Ahriman, and Surat. And Surat is the only one of them that is pure evil. He is the one that is the black magician. He is the one that, I don't want to, it pains me even to speak about this being. But with Lucifer, at least one can grab his nature and see where he comes from and understand what he himself, self-serving as he is, wants to achieve and drag mankind into his own little sphere of temptations. Ahriman wants to suck out and dry up everything spiritual within man. And Surat wants to fill himself in man with black magic. So it's important to uphold the good moral. That is what I want to come to a conclusion of this video about. Never ever say that moral is a gray zone. Never go into that temptation. Always uphold a good heart. Always uphold love. Love is the way. Love is power. And love is the future. So follow love. But in a dignified and also in an intelligent way. We can regulate ourselves and be flexible, of course. But a passive resistance to evil, transforming it within ourselves, shedding a skin what can't be transformed, ennobling your inner being, lifting yourself up from the animalistic to the divine. Because we are both right now, and the residue of the animalistic is what we are to purify, uplift ourselves fully to our divine and loving nature. I think this was everything. Thanks everyone for listening to me. I had a hard time finding a topic for today, but it came in the end, and I appreciate that. It is also a very serious matter I'm talking about here also, because every action affects your being, affects your body. So if you sit there and immersing yourself in gratitude, you feed yourself true nurturing nourishment. And if you sit there in hatred and in disgust and in dislikes, you will also feed your body that. And believe me, that is, you will get a stomach ache, or you will get used to it, even worse. So follow the good. It really is not that mysterious when you think about it. Morals and guiding principles like the Ten Commandments, and also in later teachings, have been very clear on how we should conduct ourselves to uphold a certain high value standard when it comes to love and morals. Of course, love and understanding and care and nurture is something that has become more prominent now in these later times because of the Christ. He is radiating, shining directly in this earth etheric. And Yeah, I think. And by following him, having him as your leader, as the future, we build love and nurture. And I think this was everything. I love you all. Thank you. Goodbye.